Brothers and sisters, what's up? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again. Dang, I hope that came out right. The Reluctant Nabi back again. News and views on the news. And basically, I'm here to talk to you today to flesh out some misgivings and misinformation. Basically, to give you the truth on this Brazil thing. All right. And I want y'all to pay attention to what's going on. All right, because I'm gonna talk on this video about some dynamics that some of you are probably not aware of. We are looking at the situation in Brazil. We're looking at Brazil on such a macro level that we don't realize the changes that could be made on the micro level. However, our adversary, the adversary of the good Afro man, that would include the simps that are traveling to Brazil, the black women, and now they are getting in bed with the government in order to prevent the Afro man from leaving here. See, there has been a sea change and people don't realize what's going on. The black American woman, or any American woman, but primarily the black American woman in the United States, had made a deal with the Caucasian government to become the new slave masters for the Afro men. And how do they do this? Through the laws, through the system, through your seed, through your child. Understand this. The black woman has been given the right that she has been using this whole time to abort your child. When you take a life, there's a word for that Google and YouTube won't allow us to be honest and use. See, they're cherry picking channels to take down to keep people misinformed of the evil and treachery that they've been doing. Oh, and guess who the main gatekeepers of Google and YouTube is for the Afro men? Yes, it would be these same black women of America. It is these women that started the Me Too thing. Every destructive thing that has happened in America to the Afro community on a political level came to us through the black American woman. Now, she don't want to see the truth. And I got a bunch of her silly simps trying to tell me that I need to stop talking about it, that I need to get a life, I need to do something else. You know, I need to stop being behind the computer all day, every day, and talking about the black woman. These are the same dudes that's behind their computer all day watching the content that I make. In order to, and they don't even critique it. They can't say I'm lying. Alright? And I'm trying to make an impact here too. But the impact that I'm trying to make here is different than the one I'm making in Brazil. And one, I am trying to go there and show them that the brothers that come there, many of the brothers that come there are not the thirsty Negroes that go down there that only see booty. Alright? I'm one of them dudes that see the real beauty and the real color of Brazil. And when we talk about color, there's plenty of it there. Alright? But I love the people there. Why? Because you love how people treat you when you do what you do, that is who you are. See, being myself here, which I'm always going to be, makes me enemies. Being myself there makes me logical. You find love. You understand? A lot of love there to be had. All right. And there's a reason for that. There are significant problems. And again, I'm going to mention the brother, shout him out real quick, Guy King. We were talking about this, and we were talking about how they're changing their laws to try to prevent the Afro man or frighten us away from uniting with these type of women right here. All right. Now, before I get into this, let me greet everybody. Havorten hardu gudag ola oi to the bay versus los bonjamizmi keda bawani konnichiwa ni hao ni ama sani bonani jambo habaragani assalamu alaikum and shalom. All right. So, and y'all know what time it is. Brothers and sisters, let's get these thumbs up to donate. Hit me up at my PayPal me. And don't forget, I got the GoFundMe up for the NGO. All right. And so for those that's trying to help fund this moving of the school so out of danger, just hit me up so that we can share the video and get it out into the populace. Okay. And y'all know I'm going back down there again. Y'all know I have a bunch of soccer balls now, and I'm taking some more shoes down there and summer clothing for the bazaar. All right. And shoe polish for the guys making a hustle at the airport, and stuff to clean cotton and tennis shoes. All right. So we're going to help brothers with their hustle. We're going to help the NGO with their instruction. And then we're going to spread joy with the soccer balls all around to, you know, the people with children in the favelas. Okay? So, to donate to my channel to help me continue to do these things, my PayPal me link will be in the description box. All right, and if you want to hit a brother up, my reluctant Refuge Temple Nabi email, refugetemplenabi@hotmail.com will be in the description box. Okay, so let's get back at this. All right, so when we're looking at Brazil, a lot of people are just seeing this. All right. And myself and Selma, we talk about this. Oh, what? We talk about politics and what's going on and how the circuses that are in front of us are really causing more harm than good. All right. When we talk about Carnival, they prepare for that all year round. All the money that they get goes into that all year round. Rarely, understand, there's a Brazilian, when you count for population, rarely is it that a Brazilian gets to go to Carnival. Now, when we drive past, it's a big old long street. Like, I usually see it when it's empty because I walk past where they walk down and do their thing. And there is, it's like bleachers lining all the way down. It look like 2-3 football fields, right? And, you know, it's the samba all the way down. Extravagant floats and stuff like that. Now, if you walk right outside it, you can see people just laying on the ground. I mean, flat on the ground. If you walk downtown, people are just laying on the ground. All right. And what's happening is this. What's happening is this. You got the youth, mainly the black women, as mulheres negras, all right, that they have built up, right? And here's the problem with that in Brazil. That when these women are trying to fight for rights, again, because if you want to misguide any kind of fight, you put the woman as the lead. You kill off the men and you put the women as the lead. Why do you do this? Because they are the most manipulated. They are the most manipulated. So what's happening is you get these women that are fighting not for their rights, but for the rights of others that's been doing the damage to the place for a while. They're not fighting for spiritual rights. You see what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I would argue they're not fighting for rights at all. They're twisted into wanting privilege. Not rights, but privilege. There's a difference. I'm fighting the black woman and their simps for the right to be able to speak our mind and talk openly and honestly about the things that are destroying our community. They are not allowing that on every turn. They are putting up an assault to try to prevent me and men like me from discussing our issues. But I think it's a moment too late, because the damage that the Afro-American woman, so-called, have done to the community in the United States is irreversible so long as they are in the majority. All right? And this is why. The number one reason, the abortion rate. Remember, from 73 to 2018, over 22 million, not counting California, New Hampshire, and Maryland. If you count California and Maryland from 73 to 2018, you'll probably be you'll probably be closer at 50 million babies, Afro lives, terminated by the black woman. Terminated by the black woman. So there is no numbers for political power. All we have left is our righteousness, and these women made sure to squash that with the Christian religion or any other spirituality that she decided that she wanted to lead to her children. So the children grow up spiritually drift, politically drift, and mentally drift. That means no spirituality, no political power, no mental acuity. She's destroyed the man while he was a child so that he could never become a man. That's the problem with the simps. And these dudes that only see the booty. And there's a reason they only see the booty. The black woman no longer has beauty. Everything she has is the standards of some other people. All right? And here you see the beauty of the women in Brazil, but you also see how misled they are. What happened? Black women of the United States are going all over the place and promoting the LGBT line, and it's utterly destroying other populations. Period. It's creating a bigger war zone. Not only that, it is taking the power away from the very black women that they're trying to give it to there. Because in Brazil, politics ain't running everything. Politics is not running everything. This is what's happening to the Afro man in Brazil. Understand this. This is the Afro man in Brazil. This is the results of the conflict in Brazil. Period. If you get into the game in Brazil, this is what you have to look at. When you get into the game in Brazil, it's straight up prisoners of war. It's straight up. It's a battle between the police and the Afro men, basically. Because Brazil only gives you one way. And if you try to make legal means of doing things, they tend to, like they did to Villa Kennedy, went in, tore down all their businesses and everything in the name of looking for drugs. But guess what community is flourishing? Whoever's at the top of the drug community. The pawns are not flourishing. If you notice, most of them are barefoot, because that's how they roll around like that. They popping each other over Jordans or any kind of materialistic thing. Why is that significant? When you look at the gang members in the United States, you look at Chicago, Detroit, especially Chicago, senseless murders in female-run communities where they raise these dudes without the presence of a man, and they raise them to be just like them. So not only do you have them feeding their children trees, having their children smoke trees at 3, 2, and 1, and there's a video on Facebook that proves it, but you can't show it on YouTube to make a point, because the black one will have it taken down for whatever. Right? They're trying to hide the wickedness that they're doing. In Brazil, wickedness is just exposed everywhere. Alright? So, yeah, they look like this in Brazil. For the most part. Alright? For the most part. What they don't look like is what you see during Carnival. Those women and men, yes, I said that. Alright, so you see this nice shapely thing walking down during the samba in almost nothing at all, and you're running around thinking, oh wow, them women. Many of those are men that had operations. If you want to meet the real women, you need to get away from the main beaches, and you need to make a difference in a small town. As you start to make a difference, you will get the eyes of somebody, because it is what it is. In here, you have the party life. And I want y'all to understand something real quick. That in this party life, when you go to the clubs and stuff, there is a particular target. There might be one for another unnecessary reason or bad reason. But these particular targets of these women are European men. Alright? This is why you have a strong gay community there. A lot of these children were abandoned by the mothers that were in the club scenes with these European men. All this for short-time money, creating their children. When I talk to somebody, there is a problem with HIV, and it's not among the melanated. is among the mulatto, and the mulatto dancing on the lighter skin of the mulatto. I forgot what, Moreno or something like that. And what happened is a lot of the people, when Brazil had the policy that they brought the white men from Europe over there to lay with the Afro woman to try to bleach out the melanin, they abandoned a bunch of children there. All right. Now, here's the frightening thing. So now they have a wave of Afro men from the United States talking about, oh, I want to go to Brazil. But many are coming down there to find wives. But because of the simps that are coming down there in these groups and within the groups, and the group leaders are starting to see the problem with this, right? So the simps are giving them a bad name. Well, who raised them? The single mother. So they're going down there not with the mentality of a man, but the mentality of a woman. And so now lawyers are going to follow behind to teach these women how to put American dudes on child support. You heard? All right? You heard? The other problem is this. Yep, this is the other problem. It's never been about 6-pack, 6 feet, or whatever. That's an unrealistic requirement for the Afro man so that the black woman can make an excuse to be with her true love, the one that is responsible for the wickedness, and from the beginning she has helped them get. All right, remember I was talking to you about the misguided women of Brazil. All right, and there's a segment of them that act like the Afro women in the United States. Okay, they'll march and they'll say, we're for our melanin. We are for our African roots. That's what they'll say. But then you'll figure out that most of them are a part of the LGBT community. You can't be a part of any kind of roots if you don't engage in the behavior that can lay down roots. All right? If you refuse to have a child with an Afro man, then you're not for Afro roots. You're not for Afro community. You're not for any kind of community. You're for a privilege, and you could care less about rights. And that's why nobody is seeing them. No one is seeing them because they're always fighting to have the white man's privilege instead of joining with the Afro man and fighting for the rights to be human. And why is it? Are the BAW saying we don't mind not being human? Is that what they're saying? We don't mind not being human. We'll be less than human to the white man So long as he give us the right to be worshipped by the Afro man. That seems to be the argument of these black women who have been indoctrinated by the black woman of the United States. They're no longer sisters. All right? They're fighting for the same LGBT privilege and wondering why the violence don't stop in the country where men are armed and fighting for rights. So, remember this as these simps attack the beaches, that it is really not all about the beaches, all right, for real brothers. And whatever is happening in these countries, I don't care where we run to as black men, we got to unite with somebody and stand with them while trying to get them to unite with us and stand with us and start fighting for the right to exist as human beings, maintaining our own spirituality and the right to talk about whatever the hell we want to. Our first fight is always going to be with the black woman, the American black woman, because she's the one that's spreading the wickedness everywhere. If we go down there and show ourselves to be men, I showed you in the beginning what's happening to the men there. Learn a little of the language, regardless of the laws, because of the mentality of these women. If we leave the major city and go to places like Bahia, Salvador, and other parts of Rio, like out into the favelas that's far away from the city. You know what they don't have in them favelas far away from the city? TVs. They watch soccer together or football, and that's pretty much it. All right, so yes, there are some beautiful women there. There is color there. Plenty of it. But at the end of the day, what good is it if as a man you ain't about nothing? And that's the problem. There is a battle going on there. The police and the cartels. All right. So I mean, it is what it is. All right. But like I said, they show love to the brothers when the brothers go there and try to do right by them. Period. They show love to the brothers when the brothers go there and try to do right by them. Oh, and let's not think that all of them are just down for their man and stuff like that. No, they're women. They have the same promiscuity problem as the women of old, the women of renown, the women since Eve. Remember Eve, they still got part of them in them. But the mentality is still different, where there is an importance of family. And because the war can bust out and engulf them without a man, They can't make it. So they need strong men. They need strong-minded men. They need builders. So the color of Brazil is still bright enough in the midst of everything that's wrong with the country to say this, that the black woman in the United States and any of her cronies that she gets involved in her crusade for privilege to be like the Caucasian men can keep hitting that wall. So this is my final thoughts for the vinyl thoughts. BAWs, keep hitting that wall of justice. Because remember, they're all fake like vinyl anyway, with all that silicone. With that said, I'm out.